Hello, my name is Hector Vladimir Bello. Today I'd like to discuss and review the Nissan Leaf 2016. That is the S model. There are, I believe, two models for that year, the S and the SV. This review is for the S model 2016. The S model is the one with the 84 miles range. That is the 24 kilowatt hour battery at 360 volts, and this is a all electric vehicle, as many of you may know. It is not a hybrid plug-in EV or whatever. It is a completely electric vehicle, no fuel whatsoever, and I've had it since brand new, June 2016, going on about 27 months, a little over 2 years, and well, close to 2 years and a half actually. And I'd like to give you a quick review of it. Its pros and cons. I would like to give you the good things about it as well as the bad. So without further ado, I'll begin with the range, the all-important range that many or most people worry about when first trying to purchase an electric vehicle. What is the range? The range for this specific model, the S, started at 84 miles per charge. That is the advertised range. However, the indicated range and the dashboard, brand new, I remember it being about 105 miles. That is the indicated range. In reality, I have calculated the range could vary depending on your driving habits. It could vary from about 80 to 75, even to 73% of that. So if you have 100 miles on your dash indicated, brand new, you could have gotten about 80 miles out of that. That's on average, regular, everyday driving, getting on the highway, going to work more than 10 miles away, as I did throughout the last 27 months. So that is my experience. I have taken notes of that. Right now, 27 months after, I get about 72% of the indicated mileage. Just recently I started to get indications below 90%, meaning that I may have lost 1 or 2 bars from the indication on the dashboard. I used to get about 100, 102, 103, 105 indicated miles. Out of that, probably got about 80 miles driving range. Right now, over 2 years after, I get less than 90%. So I've been getting that pretty consistently now for the last few weeks. Less than 90, about 90% or 90 miles, 90 miles of range, and that's indicated. So the difference, if I decided to calculate the actual mileage, would be close to 73% of that. So from 90 miles that would have indicated in my dashboard, 73% would be 66, close to 66 miles of driving range. So that is quite a drastic reduction in my mileage from about 84 miles, 80 maybe, to keep it conservative, down to 65 or 66 miles. That is quite a drastic reduction. I hope it doesn't keep that trend for the next few years. If that trend were to continue, I am in big trouble. So from 80 miles, I dropped down. I'm just calculating this as we speak. From 80 miles, I dropped down to 66 in 2 years, more or less 2 years, 2 years and a half, more accurately. And I lost. I'm at about 82.5% of that, of my original actual range. So let's say, to keep it even, 20%. I've lost 20% of my battery life, of my range. And let's say that occurred in a 2-year period, even though it's been a little longer. In another 2-year period, if I lost another 20%, if this trend continues, I would be sitting close to 40 miles range, which would be quite disappointing. Or that this is per charge. Let's remind you of that. So the range, if this trend continues, I'm gonna keep a close eye on it, on this, the charging, and But like I said, it's been consistent for the last couple of weeks that I've been getting 93, 90, 84, somewhere in the range of about 90 miles of range per charge, which is quite disturbing. However, the vehicle overall has been okay. It's been quite good. As a matter of fact, the quality inside is not so bad. A piece of plastic broke from one of the tabs under the seat, or one of the plastic molding under the seat, telling me that the plastic used in this vehicle probably is recycled and not of high quality. Nothing else of plastic has broken. The vehicle appears to be well built. There's no noticeable defects with the interior or exterior of the vehicle. All the panels appear to be aligned. There's no leaks of water in the interior, when it rains, whatever. There's no noise leakage. I'm recording right now, driving on the highway in the vehicle. It's quite quiet here. And I did try to put a roof-mounted rack. Big mistake for this type of vehicle, because there's all kinds of problems with that. Noise, wind, noise leaks right into the vehicle, making it noisy all of a sudden inside. And not only that, but rainwater leaks right in when you put one of those rack-mounted assemblies that tie in, or basically they grip your door frame, and it breaks the seal, the all-important seal that prevents water and air from coming into the vehicle. So I took it off immediately after I noticed that. It was just not worth it having it and risking having the interior ruined with rainwater. It rains quite a bit here in the races backward southeast of the United States. So I'd rather not have the roof mounted rack, which I bought for, to carry ladders and to carry lumber, or larger and lightweight items from, like, let's say Home Depot or Lowe's, or any hardware store, whatever it may be. However, there's surprisingly a lot of space available in the vehicle. I could bring the seats in the rear down, and that will give me plenty of space, even to carry larger items like stuff from the hardware store. Plenty of luggage. I could carry a 8 foot item, like a 8 foot piece of lumber, 8 foot pole, 8 foot whatever, and I could accommodate it to where it won't damage the interior. The interior seems to be, the seats are cloth for this particular model, and they seem to be quite good quality. However, just by the feel of it, they may tear quite easy if you place a sharp object on it with some weight, or a sharp object shifts while on the seat or whatever. So it's something that you may want to be careful not to put any sharp objects on the seats or any of the cloth surfaces of the vehicle, such as the door handles and the some of the other, like your armrest in the center of the vehicle, which is cloth. You may want to be careful with those, unless you want a huge gouge on those items. And the vehicle, as you may know, has two driving modes: B for braking and D for drive. B allows you to use to the maximum your braking regeneration, which is a very good idea to drive in B, and because it saves you brakes. I have not had to even look at my brake pads, because I know they're in pretty good shape. I've seen many other owners and their reports that their brakes are in good shape because of this regenerative braking. You basically can almost drive with one pedal, the accelerator. When you let go of it in B mode, especially when you're in eco mode as well, you can have both modes on. You can let go of the pedal, and the car will behave as more or less as a golf cart, where it can almost come to a complete stop when you let go of the accelerator. It won't quite come to a complete stop. You may have to use your brake just a tad, but it does help very, very greatly your brake pads. So I recommend you use it. The eco mode, as I mentioned, is another mode that you can engage to save a lot more energy and to regenerate more. When you brake, it basically takes away some of the acceleration power, and that is something that you really want to be doing, especially if you want to extend your range. I drive about 55 to 60 miles daily, so that is something that I'm very aware of, because I cut it close too many times, as far as charge and range and all that good stuff. The car is probably uncomfortable and inconvenient to drive in very, very cold weather, because it'll run your battery dead real quick if you have your heat on, your climate control on. I've heard reports, I'm not sure, I don't think this model has that, but it may have the climate control to where it will, while charging at your home, It will control the climate inside of the vehicle somehow. I'm not sure if it's the air conditioner that comes on at intervals to keep the inside of the vehicle somewhat warm, like during a cold frozen night. And when you get in the morning, it's not gonna use half of your battery trying to warm the car back up, which is probably a good idea to engage if you have it and you need it. Here in the backward southern eastern part of the United States, it's not a complete necessity to have that. It doesn't get that cold, even though it does get cool many a night, dipping down into the teens at times, but that doesn't occur too often, so that's not something I'm really worried about. The car has not caused me to spend almost any money in maintenance. I did have to swap out the front tires because they were going bald on the outside edge of both tires. I've had to repair at least two tires because of flats and stuff, mainly because of debris, nails and stuff that I've encountered on the road, whatever. But nothing that is inherent or it's caused by the design of the vehicle. Of course, I have not had to do any kind of oil changes. There's no such thing in this vehicle. No keeping up with transmission or radiator fluids. The brake fluids should be okay. I have not checked those, but since I don't use brakes as much as I would in a regular vehicle, I really don't care to check those too often. I do have to, since it's been a couple of years, I do have to check on that. And other than that, the vehicle has been great. It's saved me, I have about 31,764 miles. As the gas has been relatively cheap, it's been it's ranged from 220 to 260 for the last couple of years. As if my memory serves me okay. If it's been more than that, it's been for a very short time, or less than that. So that's more or less $2.50 on average for the last couple of years. So I calculated the mileage that I've put in the car, and I have figured that more or less I've saved in gas alone about $3,000, of which I've spent about $400 in vehicle registration, because here in the great racist backwards southern state of Georgia, you have to basically pay an extra fee if you have an electric vehicle. They claim is a tax for the fuel that you are not purchasing when you own such vehicle, which is ludicrous on its face, but hey, I wouldn't expect any less from this place anyways. So I'm quite happy with my investments so far. I'm a little bit distraught and concerned about the mileage or range of the vehicle this far, and I may be in the hands, or I may have in my hands basically a vehicle that's worth less than what I'm paying for it. Right now I owe I bought it for about $30,000. Got a little bit of a discount through Nissan, and it came down to about 26, and that I paid close to 10,000, maybe a little more. So I now owe on it, about 16,000, maybe a little less. And the vehicle is probably not worth that right now. if I were to go buy one of these used with the similar amount of mileage, same year, and I'll probably be looking at 12,000-13,000, if that. So I'm probably in the hole right now, and with the range right now going down dramatically, it's probably the value for it's going to decrease. So we'll see what happens. Time will tell. I may need to make a financial decision about this vehicle quite soon and see if there may be some options for me as far as fixing that gap in value for the vehicle, where I am basically I owe the bank more than the vehicle is actually worth. I'm going to basically explore my options and go from there. We'll keep you updated on the next video. Thank you very much.